and can't spend as much time at work and also fulfill that social expectation or obligation.
Right.
There's also the idea of the second shift, where women take on the majority of housework, of the burden of household chores. And that's a cultural thing, right? Maybe it's cultural expectations or whatever. But the second shift is the idea that a woman could work all day, and when she gets home, the expectation is that she will do the majority of the housework and the cleaning and the cooking and doing dishes and laundry and all that kind of stuff. Well, it is the same expectation is not placed on men. And usually when they get home, they just can relax.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line being, look, if you're the kind of person that thinks that like brown people or Mexicans or something shouldn't be able to cross a certain border, well, then guess what? You can get taxed for being your fucking gender. You know?
At the vegan coffee shop, which you don't even want to go to anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. Libertarianism and capitalism in action, right?
Woo.
Private property rights. I'm all for it. And you should be too if you espouse those things. Anyway, there's more coming up here on Sex and Science Hour. Would you rather have good sex or personal space? The answer may surprise you. Welcome back to Sex and Science Hour. We weren't gone long.
No.
Now, would you rather have good sex or personal space in a relationship? The answer may surprise you.
My answer probably wouldn't surprise anybody, but
good sex.
yeah, good, more, all the above.
Yeah. Now, I would consider myself a person who needs a lot of personal space for most people.
Sure.
But with my loving relationships, I want to be close to that person. And sometimes it is like the only relationship where I feel I don't need space. I don't want as much space as I would from other people.
Yeah, I mean, and also, well, I mean, I'm curious what obviously that's kind of a baiting headline. Mm-hmm. I'm curious what the article says, but also at the same time, like my desire for personal time is generally to help make me be a better person. Mm-hmm. And by default, that
contributes to the relationship.
Yeah, it contributes to really, at the end of the day, even, better sex.
Sure. Right, I agree. I mean,
way.
And the article actually gets into that like alone time and being apart can make you feel closer or can improve your sex life because it increases your desire for each other or whatever.
Yeah, though I wouldn't go that route. I wouldn't say it's because like it increases my desire because, time away is good
distance
for the heart.
Makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, that kind of nonsense.
Or distance makes the faint heart wander.
Yeah, right.
You ever heard that one?
Yeah, there it is. But no, more that like literally my personal time is me developing me, and moving at my speed of, be smarter, bigger, stronger, whatever, wealthier, more empathetic. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's because of that distance. I'd say it's because I become that better person. Not that I need personal space to even do that, but if I have it, that's generally what I'm doing.
Right. Okay. So, and I don't think it's an either or, right? Like these
Right.
are obviously connected. But this is from lifehack.org by Anna Chewy. Closeness and intimacy may seem like the most important elements to a relationship. Good sex builds intimacy, but the majority of people value their personal space over a dynamic sex life. Over the last 25 years, Dr. Terry Orbuck, a psychologist and author of Finding Love Again, 6 Simple Steps to a New and Happy Relationship, has been conducting a long-term study of marriage. The study itself is called the Early Years of Marriage Project, which has been following the same 373 married couples throughout the throes of their relationships since 1990. And it's now 2018, so it's almost 30 years later. As you might imagine, not all of the couples managed to remain happy throughout the duration of their relationships. 29% of the spouses reported that they were not given enough privacy or time to themselves from their partners. That is a huge amount of people. Almost 30%, almost a third of people said that they felt they did not have enough alone time or privacy from their partners.
30%?
30%, 29%.
Wow,
Not only that, but 11.5% of the unhappy spouses said that the root of their unhappiness came from a lack of personal space. So for 11.5% of people, this is such a big deal to them that it's really, they say it's the main issue in their marriage.
Wow.
That they don't get enough personal space. This is nearly double the amount of the 6% who claimed that they were unhappy only because of their sex lives. So More people complain about a lack of personal space than complain about their sex life being crappy. Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Okay, what I think this speaks to, and this is a recurring theme, I say this all the time, and I don't know how it doesn't appear to sink in with people, but you should be friends first, okay, in a relationship. And if you're friends, usually become friends because you have some kind of thing in common, whatever that happens to be. Like, I get it that you could want some personal space here and there to get some stuff done that maybe is like relative to your own work and not work that you share with your spouse or significant other or whatever. But like, I can't imagine that like you need personal time so bad away from this person. Like, what are you doing in the relationship? Like, what the hell? I mean, granted, we're kind of unique in that, I mean, you and I are together almost literally all the time.
Yeah, no, I'm still processing what I think about this, Brian. And it's interesting that you say that because, yeah, I would consider you and me, we took the Myers-Briggs test.
Right.
Right? Both of us have the same personality type, which is INTJ.
Yes.
And that first letter, I, means introvert. Now, introverts are people who need a lot of alone time because they get energy from alone time and time to process and recharge their batteries alone, and they get drained by being around people for too long. And so they really draw personal energy like a well from their alone time.
Right.
And a lot of people are introverted like that. And particularly our Myers-Briggs type, if you believe, if you're into that or whatever, I think it's a good, I like it. I think it's very interesting. But particularly INTJ is the most independent personality type. They're known as kind of a lone wolf. They can sort of take or leave relationships.
Right.
They're very comfortable being alone and being single and being solitary and just doing their own thing. And they can keep themselves entertained for hours and hours with their own thoughts.
Yeah, sounds like me.
It sounds like me too, yeah. But although I do like to have relationships too.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in our relationship, we're together, we live together, we both work from home, so we're in the same house all day.
Yeah.
We kind of go into our respective workspaces, and we don't always we're not in the same room working all day, but we are basically spending a lot of time together. And I never feel like being around you drains my energy like I do. I feel totally comfortable being myself around you. And that is such a beautiful thing about our relationship because I really don't feel like, I feel like there are most people in the world, I could not live in the same living arrangement with them like I do with you and feel that way. Like, I've had roommates before, and actually I've had roommates for most of my life. And a lot of the time it was a struggle to feel like I could really let it all hang out and relax and just kind of be totally comfortable.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it comes down to I get it, the introversion, but that introversion can come from we do the same things. Like we literally spend our time doing the same things. We watch the same stuff, listen to the same stuff, work out, the whole thing.
Well, we're not always talking to each other when we're together. Sometimes we're just together, kind of being quiet together or watching something or reading something.
But I think that's a quality that a lot of relationships don't have either, is that they can't be quiet. Or not that they can't be
they
quiet.
They don't know how to be quiet, yeah.
They don't know how to be quiet together. They don't know how to appreciate being with each other even in silence. Like they feel like, oh, if they're not talking to each other, oh, we're not actually in love, or oh, we're not paying attention. No. No, there's a lot that happens in the silence. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So Brian, would you say that you don't get enough alone time?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I get, my needs are met,
Great. That's awesome.
How about you?
Yeah, I do feel like I get enough alone time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So I guess we're not in that 29% of people who feel like they don't get enough. But I wonder how many of these matches are like an introvert and an extrovert, where the extrovert's like, hey, what are you doing? Let's do something. Let's talk.